Hey there, YouTube. I am not quite ready. I want to add this necklace to match my lipstick, but it is 3:33 and I don't know. I just wanted to start this video at exactly 3:33. Oh, now it's 3:34. But I did technically manage to start this when it said 3:33. So that was exciting. Oh, okay. Just gonna try to get a quick thumbnail here. Ooh, I wonder, I think these would match. Can I get these right now? Oh my gosh, they're like stuck in here. Oh, this would be cute though. Come on, come on. How did I even get these back here? Come on now, there's that pair. Come on. Yay! Oh, okay. These are from my gram from years ago. Oh my gosh, they're fluffy. And then this sweater is from my gram too. These, I don't remember where I got them, but let's just, oh my gosh. Oh my God. You guys, holy crap. I love earmuffs so freaking much. Oh my God. They're like squirrels. They just make me laugh. They just make me smile and laugh so much. Testing 1, 2, 3. Actually, this really is kind of a testing 1, 2, 3 for me. The video that I tried to do yesterday did not post properly. It was supposed to be 36 minutes and it only posted the 4 minutes, the first 4 minutes of it. So granted, I was driving for that video. I don't know, I'm kind of assuming that maybe must have been why. The video that I did before that on Saturday, right before I did that video on Saturday, I had just gone and switched my cellular service over to my internet provider. So I'm still kind of trying to test out this new configuration with having my phone, having my cell service, how it is now and just recently with my internet, bundled with my internet. Although when I looked this up on Google last night, it said that live streaming actually is supposed to have to do more with your internet provider than your cellular service. So my internet is still, I think, the same as it was before, unless maybe with this new plan I have less gigs, less speed than I did, and maybe they just didn't tell me that. It's not a contract, so it's all still kind of a work in progress, experimental stuff that I'm trying to figure out. I'm the most technology illiterate person probably ever, a natural blonde, and honestly, I think I have brain damage from stuff in the past. I just kind of don't understand things, unfortunately. So I struggle with stuff, you guys. But the video that I was trying to do yesterday, I was talking about how it's my 6 months sober from weed. So I think up until then, I had been smoking weed pretty much all day, every day for like 20 years, pretty much since I was 16 years old. So that could have something to do with why my brain doesn't feel like it's working properly or able to. So yeah, but this is my first time trying out this new configuration on my phone with having my phone bundled with my internet from Saturday. It's my first time streaming back at this location that I normally have been streaming my lives from lately. I'm at the club, in the club parking lot. So, and the video that I did on Saturday, that was the first one that I did with my new phone configurations. That one, when I watched that back on my laptop later, it did appear to be rather choppy and not as smooth as most of my lives had been prior. But that might have been the first time I did a live from that particular location, because that location, I was at a gym that I don't normally go to as often as the one that I do go to more often. So I know that it's been a while since I've done any kind of video from that location at that gym, but I would really have to go back to see for sure. But just off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure that location, I think I've done regular style videos on my phone there before, like months back. But I don't remember ever doing a live stream from that location before. I could be wrong. Again, I'd have to really go back and check my YouTube to really see, but that might have been my first time live streaming from there. I think it was, probably. So that might have had something to do with why the video quality seemed to be a little bit less than what I've been used to lately, and why it seems so choppy. I really, really want to think that might have something to do with it, rather than just the switch that I've made, bundling my phone and my internet together just recently this past Saturday. So yeah, this is my first time trying out this new cellular service, being with my internet provider with that from this location. So I really hope that this video posts okay. On that note, I have to remember to try to keep this one a little bit on the shorter side, or what I would consider to be the shorter side for me, because if it's anything like what happened yesterday, if for some reason it doesn't post properly, then, you know, that would be kind of basically just wasted time. And I really don't like when that happens. So, I mean, the video on Saturday, even though it was choppy quality and kind of staticky, it did at least look like it posted the correct amount of time, like the full thing. So that was nice, I guess. But yeah, the one from yesterday, I got the first 4 minutes, and then I actually did 36 minutes of that video originally that was supposed to post, that, you know, the rest of it just got lost, I guess, in the abyss somewhere. But yeah, it kind of sucks, because I wanted that video to be me talking about my 6 months sober, you know, from weed. It's been years and years and years since I've had a drink. I really can't remember the last time I've had a drink. And I guess maybe like a very long time ago, more so in my 20s, probably in my teenage years, I did struggle a little bit with alcohol here and there, but not that bad. I've never really had much of a taste for alcohol, thankfully. I am actually really thankful for that, because I would say that I do kind of have an addictive personality with stuff that I do really like and gravitate to. So it's definitely probably like in my favor that I don't really like alcohol that much. So I haven't had much of an issue with that for the most part. Whereas with the weed, ever since I first tried it at 16, I just always loved weed so much, and kind of just never really thought about it as that big of a deal, you know, because it's natural and all of that stuff that people say sometimes. But, you know, it's an herb, and I mean, I'll always love weed, don't get me wrong. Just because I am not smoking it now or currently, I'm still always gonna love weed. I just wanted to kind of prove to myself, especially being at that 20-year mark. I was like, well, if not now, then when with that, you know, because I had tried a few times in the past to take a break from the weed, but it was just never really successful for me. But then realizing this past year when I just turned 37 a few days ago, but this past year when I was 36, I started smoking weed at 16, just realizing that it had been exactly 20 years for me smoking. I was like, okay, it's exactly 20 years. I might as well just try to do this now because if not now, then when, kind of thing. So, yeah, I stopped smoking weed on May 1st of this year. So that would mean that November 1st, just a couple of days ago, that was my official 6-month mark. And when I say, I mean, I haven't had any slip up. So when I say that it's been 6 months, it has fully been a complete 6 months for me with that. I haven't had one puff. I haven't had edibles. And yeah, like I was saying, I've never really had much of an issue with other substances, alcohol, or anything else. Weed was always like my thing. So I've been stone cold sober for a long time now. I mean, for 6 months fully, and even up until that point, it was just the weed anyway. So but now without the weed, I have like no vices pretty much, unless you want to count like, I don't know, maybe like food, exercise, just like those things are kind of normal anyways though, you know what I mean? Like you obviously need food and most people exercise it seems, or try to. So, and like if you were going to count exercise as a vice, like that's obviously like that typically is seen as more of like a healthy kind of vice. So but other than that, I really can't think of anything that I have as far as like vices now. I've been stone cold sober and officially haven't smoked weed in the 6 months. So I don't know, back in October, I was kind of thinking to myself, like, okay, I really want the end of this month to come. So it'll be my birthday. And then I can at least like have a little, like, just smoke a little bit, just take the edge off. And I don't know, the whole being sober thing, for the most part, I feel like honestly it's been kind of overrated for me personally. Um, I hate to say it, but that's kind of just the truth. I do miss smoking weed, I really do. I think for me, just like pretty much anything these days, the main reason I did want to prove to myself I could do it, and yes, it was the 20 years, I wanted to kind of like go with that. But for the most part, I think the biggest reason that I wanted to take this break from the weed is just because of how expensive it is, really. And yeah. So, but regardless, I was really hoping that I would feel a little bit more clear-headed and just better overall by now. And I do a little bit to an extent, but not as much as I was hoping, to be honest. And the thing that I'm still struggling with the most is the sleep. I just don't sleep. At least not at night. I can sleep during the day, but that I don't want to sleep the day away. I really don't like doing that. And I try so hard to sleep at night. I mean, lately I've been doing more night shifts here at the club. So that's one thing. But then lately with the night shifts, I've been doing 10-hour night shifts 4 nights in a row, sometimes 3. But that still leaves me a few nights where I'm not working here at the strip club. So on my days/nights off, I do try to get some sleep at night. I try really hard. And yeah, the night shifts is even still more of a recent thing for me. So just throughout the past years, for a while now, pretty much all my life, but especially like, the past few years and recently, I just cannot sleep at night. And I try, I've tried a lot of different things and nothing seems to work, but I really, really try. I try like so many different things that I can try to think of with this. And again, I mean, with the smoking weed, it was still a struggle, but I do feel like weed was pretty much the only thing that helped me sleep at night. Again, it still wasn't great, and I still slept better during the day. I still didn't sleep very much at night, but I definitely was able to sleep more and better during kind of more of the nighttime hours than I do now. Whereas now I literally don't sleep at night at all. And especially like also having these night shifts be more of a recent thing for me is like adding to that. Although even if that wasn't the case, I'm pretty sure I would still, because this was a struggle for me even before I really started doing the night shifts. It really became much more of a struggle, honestly, yeah, when I stopped smoking the weed, and I just can't seem to figure out how to fix it. Um, it's still a work in progress. I'm still trying to like think that there's hope for this and that I can hopefully figure out something at some point, or maybe hopefully at some point this will get better, you know, like, but yeah, still so far right now, you know, I miss a lot of things about smoking weed, but that's still my biggest struggle, is just the simple, not the simple, but just that it's not even just like, you know, oh, I love weed so much, which I do. It's just I want to sleep. And that was really one of the only thing pretty much that helped with that before. Whereas now it's like I can't seem to find a replacement for it. I just cannot sleep at night. My body won't let me. My body just will not let me sleep until like 6, 7 a.m., that kind of thing. Daylight savings hasn't seemed to help with this at all. Granted, that just happened like a day ago. But actually, the night that daylight savings was Saturday night. And Saturday night, if anything, so far, that's just made it worse, I guess, because so Saturday night, I worked on Sunday here at the club. Lately, I've been doing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 10-hour shifts. So this Sunday, that's what I did. I did a 10-hour shift. And going into that, I had gotten 1 hour of sleep, like before midnight the night before. So Saturday night, I went to the gym pretty early in the evening, Saturday evening, after doing the video on here, my Saturday video on here. And then later Saturday night after the gym, you know, I got back to my apartment and, you know, showered, had my dinner, that kind of thing, went online for a bit, went on YouTube from my laptop, you know, recreationally. And then I did fall asleep for about an hour, sometime before midnight, maybe like 10, 11. I know that I woke up before midnight and I had gotten about an hour for a nap. After that, I was up. I was up from before midnight all throughout the rest of that night into the early morning, all the rest of that day. I came into the club on 1 hour of sleep and I did a 10-hour shift. That's a pretty normal thing for me, unfortunately. It really does suck. So today, like last night / this morning, I think I got maybe about 5 hours of sleep, that's probably my average. Sometimes it's 3 or 4, sometimes it's worse, like 1 or 2. The 1 or 2, luckily, isn't that often. Usually it's about 4 or 5, sometimes 6 if I'm lucky. That's about my max, it seems, these days. Whereas during the day, I can just sleep and sleep and sleep. If I don't want to do that, I really don't like to do that, because again, I don't like to sleep the day away. But if I let myself, I really have to fight not to do that. But if I let myself, just following my body's natural cues, that's the one time my body will finally let me sleep, is during the day. If I let myself, I could sleep 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours probably during the day. And then like get up, you know, do a few things, fall right back asleep until about midnight probably. And then from like midnight on, I'm just up all the rest of the night, basically, early morning hours. So this is something I just cannot seem to figure out. I don't have health insurance. I don't go to the doctor, that kind of thing. I just can't figure it out yet. But anyways, so yeah, me being sober from the weed, it's honestly not going as well as I had hoped, but at least maybe by sharing that, it's, you know, maybe like a different kind of interesting perspective, because I feel like when I hear other people talking about being sober and stuff like that, it's always so great. Like, oh my gosh, it's so wonderful, you guys. Like, why can't everyone do this? Like, hop on board. It's so wonderful to be sober. Yeah, I have noticed some improvements slightly here and there, but if I'm truly being honest, weed is just too expensive for me, like everything else these days, and that's my main reason for not smoking it anymore. Other than that, I freaking hate this shit, and I can't sleep, and I don't enjoy things as much. I feel a tiny little bit more clear-headed, but not that much. Anyway, so I don't know if this video, if I'll try to just have this one be focused more on my sobriety like that. That's what I intended for my video yesterday to be. The one that posted is 4 minutes, but was actually originally supposed to be 36 minutes. I still have to go back and change the title for that video because I still have it titled as being about my 6 months sober. On the actual day of it being 6 months sober for me, I didn't even think to mention that. So that would have been Saturday. Saturday was the 1st, so that would have technically been my official 6 months of the being sober from the weed. But I guess I was just so busy Saturday because Saturday was the day that I was trying to get to the gym. The gym closes at 7 p.m. on Saturday, so I tried to just like scramble out the door as early as I could that day because that was also the day that I went to the phone store, or I'm sorry, the internet store. And I was at the internet store for I think over an hour talking with them about my bill, and that was when we did the process of switching my phone over to being bundled with my internet. So, which honestly has not seemed to be going very well so far, but I want to think, I don't know, I'll try to see how this video does after I do it. Hopefully this one will run a little bit smoother and post fully. I don't know. One thing that I did change on this video is I disabled the live comments. So up until just recently, I actually hadn't even realized that that was an option. But I was looking this up online the other day, and apparently that's actually an option to not have the live comments on these live chats. So yeah, and I mean, I never really intended for these live videos to be chats. They're more so just a way for me to try to do videos. The reason I've been doing them live, it's just a way for me to do videos that just happens to be live. The reason I do them live is because it said that doing live videos doesn't use storage space on your phone. And my storage is all maxed out on my phone. So they were never really supposed to be chats for me. I was pretty much ignoring the comments on here anyways, for the most part. Especially since, I mean, I feel kind of bad because some of them seem to be okay, but they're hard to read on the screen. And if I do, I get distracted by them. And then also in the past, I have had some that weren't so nice, that were very distracting. And I usually come into these videos with stuff that I want to talk about and not get distracted by other stuff. But also with me figuring out, well, just realizing I could choose the feature to not have them on here. This is my first live chat without having the comments. I also wanted to see if maybe not having that feature on would help with the stream quality and maybe help with, you know, so that this video might post a little easier and fully would be nice. And also I was wondering if it would affect the stream quality at all, if hopefully, if I'm able to watch this back later, if it does post fully. I want to see if maybe it's not as choppy and staticky as the one from Saturday. I just kind of thought that maybe it would help the video quality. That's what I'm hoping. So this will be an interesting little experiment with that, I guess you could say. But yeah, honestly though, like just lately with how things have been going, I've been having issues with my car. Just this past week, you know, up until just this past, well, not this week, but last week, up until last week, I felt like I was doing pretty good with my live streams and with my YouTube and stuff. You know, I was branching out and doing some interview style videos with a couple other dancers here at the club, and then thinking about maybe trying to branch off from that with interviewing more dancers in the future and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I thought that I was doing pretty good with that and my videos were posting okay. But then last week, I think it was Wednesday, I started to have interruptions with my videos and just them not posting fully, that kind of thing. So that was one of the reasons that I decided to try bundling my phone service with my internet and switching it over to this other carrier that I'm on now. You know, so that might have been a mistake. I hope not. I don't know. I still have to see more how these go from here. But yeah, and then I'm not sure exactly what night it was. I think it was maybe Monday, Tuesday night when I left the club one of those nights after one of my 10-hour shifts. I know that when I got to the club, my car was like normal, it seemed, like running normally and just how it normally does. And then after that 10-hour shift, when I left the parking lot, immediately I noticed there was a big difference with my car. Like the brakes are bumpy, the steering or the brake pedal just feels wonky and kind of bumpy. One of the managers was nice enough to come outside last night and take a look at my tires, and he said that it looks like I need new brake pads. I went and I got an oil change earlier today, and also they said that I'm probably going to need new tires. So yeah, I guess last week, just, you know, and then it's like stuff just started to go wrong with my YouTube, with my car. And, you know, like with winter approaching, we just had daylight savings. It's already getting dark here now. It's only 4 o'clock. So, you know, I've really been stressed out about just like this winter. I always stress out about the winter, obviously, but especially with my YouTube and daylight savings and trying to still continue to do the best I can to make time to do these videos and stuff. But you know what? Like, I was thinking about it too. I was like, you know, for me to try to continue as much with this channel for the winter time, I would probably really want to try to get back to talking about more specific subjects that have kind of been pending for my videos. A lot of times lately, what I end up doing, especially with these live chats, is I'll just kind of talk about my day and talk about like my previous shift here at the club and just stuff that's been going on in my life, you know. But if I were to try to do that in the wintertime, it's like, what am I going to be telling you guys about? It's just like, hey guys, I just shoveled a foot of snow. Hey guys, I was just freaking out in my apartment with the power outage we just had. I was just sitting in my apartment with a little candle, trying not to cry, just sitting there in a dark corner. I just ran out here to my car to try to see if I had internet or cellular service to come stream this video. You know, oh, hey guys, we just had another power outage over here. We just had another huge snowstorm. I just shoveled this many feet of snow, you guys. Like, you know, if I were to try to update you, like how I've been doing with my videos, stuff that's going on, and then the stuff with my car recently, it's like, for me to try to do that without crying or being in a really bad, depressing mood would kind of be like a pretty tall order for me, probably. Like, winter's just horrific around here, especially. And so I'm kind of thinking about that. Like, I probably should just, from here on out, just ignore the stuff going on in my existence as best I can, and just maybe if I was able to continue with this channel, I better just start talking about topics like unrelated to my current times and like what's been going, because again, like it's not going to be very it's not going to be like, oh hey guys, I just met this amazing sponsor, sugar daddy, boyfriend. Hey guys, this great thing just happened. Hey guys, I got a new car. Hey guys, I just won the lottery. It's not going to be like anything like probably, you know, very like happy and exciting for me to update with. You know, it's going to be like probably wintry, horrific stuff. So, you know, but I do still have a lot of topics that have been pending that I do want to try to talk about. So I just got to try to keep that in mind, and just maybe from in the future, like, you know, going forward for the winter, just try to focus on more specific stuff to talk about that's been pending for a little while. Because otherwise, and even like up until now, me just being so open and forthcoming about how things are for me and how they've been for me for a while now, I feel like basically this channel is pretty much just like a buffet for my haters, pretty much. Like anybody that's ever not liked me, disliked me, wished bad things upon me, just not liked me basically, which, you know, there's been a lot of that throughout my time, throughout my 37 years, 36, 37, however, yeah, however you want to see that, 36, going on 37. You know, there's been a lot of that. So I want to think maybe not as much these days. But again, I mean, there's still always like that kind of vibe coming from one place or another, you know. So especially from my past, it's like especially in my past, I've had a lot of people where, you know, like old roommates, and I don't really have bad feelings towards my exes, but they might not say the same about me. I don't know. I really don't know. Just like I was bullied, you know, a lot as a kid, and I feel like being a stripper, being in the adult industry, I've had some stuff kind of targeted towards me that's not been so positive, unfortunately. So just, yeah, like anybody that doesn't have positive thoughts or feelings towards me, which definitely there seems to be, you know, that does seem to be a thing for me, unfortunately. This channel so far, and if I was to continue talking about stuff, how it's going to be for the winter time, it's just like a buffet for those people that don't like me, for the haters, basically. You know, just like going through my videos, if anyone were, it's like just the stuff from my past and the stuff now that I worry about and still struggle with. It's like, damn, like, anyway. So, and yeah, like, especially recently with my videos not posting properly, it's like, damn, I've put so much into this channel. You know, I've made so many sacrifices, and oh gosh, I don't know, it's been pretty stressful, and the snow hasn't even started yet. I don't want to jinx it. I know it's on the way anyways, regardless, but so yeah, it was below freezing last night. So it's definitely I think, yeah, it was when I left the club last night, it was after midnight, and I was wearing a sweater. I wasn't wearing a jacket. I'm still trying, and I did not put the heat on in my car though. I still haven't done that. So, you know, and the sweater that I was wearing, it was kind of like an open kind of top like this where my shoulder was exposed. So it wasn't like a super warm sweater. It was just a sweater, but kind of like a looser one. I don't think I was wearing the hat. I don't think I was wearing gloves or anything like that. My gram did actually make me these hand warmers to go with the hat. She makes me lots of cute little stuff like this. She made this hat, and she, you know, she made these green ones. The white hat and the white gloves are my favorite so far. But yeah, I mean, I really wasn't dressed that warmly last night, and I know that it was below 30 degrees when I left the club and when I got back to my apartment later after that. So yeah, I didn't put the heat on my car, you know, I haven't done that in my apartment. I'm planning not to do that this year. It'll be my 4th year without having heat on in my apartment for the winter time. So I'm just trying to tough it out as best I can. But again, it's like all this like yummy stuff for my haters to just be like, oh wow, listen to this bitch. Like, yeah, I would say that I struggle / suffer with some stuff, you know. But one kind of more positive, happy thing, as far as like me here at the club and with the dancing, a move that I've been wanting to try to do on the pole here for a very long time, that I kind of just always felt like I might never be able to do, just flexibility wise, especially. I've always, I always see this move and just think it's one of the coolest ones that I've seen. It's when you do a split on the pole. So, and I've actually looked it up on YouTube, like tutorials and, you know, other dancers, and trying to explain how to get into that move and how to do it. But, so the past couple of weeks, I guess you could say, I've kind of been trying to practice, like to prepare to try to do that move, lifting my right leg up towards the pole and just trying to get my foot, my leg, my shoe, as what you're supposed to do is your top leg that you lift up towards the pole, you're supposed to try to get your foot and your ankle in front of the pole. So I was actually able to do that last night. Up until last night, I hadn't been able to get my foot fully in front of the pole like that. I had been practicing to try to get my leg up towards the pole, and up until last night, I was just able to touch the pole with the tip of my shoe. So yeah, that was kind of like just a few weeks of me practicing that, trying to get more of a feel for lifting my leg higher up like that towards the pole. And then, yeah, last night was my first time actually being able to fully put that foot and that ankle, that shoe in front of the pole. So the next part of that move would be for me to work on my bottom leg placement and also figure out how to get that one in front of the pole at the bottom as well. So I feel like I'm maybe almost halfway there with that move, but I just know that last night was definitely a sign of progress for me with that, which was really nice. The pole has just been so slippery lately. You know, if it wasn't as slippery as it was, I kind of want to think that I would have felt a little bit more okay about possibly trying to work with my bottom leg and get that foot in front of the pole as well. I feel like I probably could have done that if the pole wasn't so slippery, but it was just so slippery that I just didn't feel safe trying to do anything with my bottom leg just yet. I could barely even hold on to the pole at all in the first place. I mean, I was gripping that thing for dear life with every fiber in my entire body. Like from head to toe, every cell, every fiber is just gripping to that pole with everything I have, trying not to fall off of it, and I'm still sliding on it. So I don't know what they're doing to it to make it like that. I do know that on Sunday, though, it might make a little more sense for it to be that way because Friday and Saturday nights, especially, I think probably Thursday night too, which is why one of the main other big reasons, besides the staff that works these nights, but I have been trying to do Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night shifts in a row as best I can recently, because particularly on Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, they have a smoke machine that they just go absolutely nuts with, and they smoke out the entire building with the smoke stuff. So, you know, there's like a whole bunch of, I'm allergic to it. I've mentioned that on here before a few times. But besides just my allergies, I mean, I get a rash from this stuff. I get nosebleeds. My nose drips all over the place. Like, very attractive, I know. I get headaches. I can't see. I can't breathe. I can't think. The list just goes on and on and on for how much I hate this stuff. But they say pick your battles, right? I don't know. So anyways, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, Friday and Saturday especially, seem to be the nights, like, you know, like the busiest kind of like most crowd dependent kind of nights. Those are the nights where it seems like they really go crazy with that stuff and just completely smoke the entire building out. So, but not only all that other stuff that I just mentioned, but also it's an oil-based product, so that it's like an oil coating floating throughout the air, which does get onto the pole, and I feel like that contributes to the slipperiness of the pole. It makes the pole more slippery. So it's just like basically coating the pole in oil, you know, and you're breathing that in, you're breathing in these oil particles, and it's just like, oh my gosh, like, really? It looks cool, you know, it looks nice, it looks theatrical, and it's supposed to enhance the lights, and it does visually. It's just, you know, kind of one of those catch-22s, like, is it really worth how it looks? Because, you know, all these other issues that I'm mentioning. So I think because they seem to use it, especially like the most on Friday and Saturday night. I think it just lingers in the air into Sunday. So I guess because, you know, I've been doing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the pole's still slippery, but I think I do notice it to be especially so on Sunday. And I'm guessing that might have something to do with that stuff just lingering in the air from Friday and Saturday night. Possibly. I'm not really exactly sure, but anyway, there is still a lot of stuff pending that I wanted to talk about, but it is getting dark out. It's just barely after 4 o'clock and it is getting dark out. It's almost completely dark out here. Love it. So this is the life, you guys. Just wow. Happy times. But you know what? The black lipstick. This black lipstick just matches my mood and my soul for this time of year. So I'm gonna try to rock this black lipstick pretty much all throughout the winter, just because it goes with how winter makes me feel. Although I do really like the lipstick though. Like it looks better than I thought it would, or I like to think it does. I don't know. So yeah, I've already signed in for work. I got this $1 so far. This dollar, I remember, had been stuck above the stage from last night / this morning, early morning hours. And I noticed it earlier on in my shift yesterday, and I was thinking all throughout the shift, like, I want to try to get that dollar. But in order to reach it, I have to stand on one of the chairs. And even then, sometimes I can't reach them. There's like a kind of like a nook in the wall where sometimes dollars get stuck somehow. So if they're further back, it's maybe like a few feet into the wall. So if they're further back in there, I really can't reach them. But this one was closer to the very front. It was kind of like peeking out at the edge. So I was able to just go in there and real quickly, like in between stages when no one was at the stage, there was nobody really in there. Surprise, surprise. So I just hopped up onto one of the chairs real quick, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to reach it. I thought I might have to use like a piece of clothing to try to shake it loose to try to reach a little better. But I guess I was actually able to reach it. It was close enough to the edge of that area where I was able to just hop up onto the chair real quick and reach up and grab it. So this is I was just really excited to see that it was still there from last night, because I was just so focused on trying to warm myself up before I came back outside last night when we closed. I had been thinking about it all throughout the shift, but then at the very end of the shift, you know, I knew it was going to be really cold out here. It was even cold in there in the club. So I was just like, okay, I was on stage a lot, just like doing the pole, trying to warm my body up as best I could. And I was just so focused on that at that point, I kind of just forgot about this dollar up there. And then I remembered it later after I had gotten back to my apartment, because I was going through my change purse, and besides the fee that we pay to work here as dancers, there's also a separate charge that's called a promotional fee. So the original house fee is like a sliding scale. It varies depending on how late you get here. Basically, the later you get here, the more it is. Whereas the promotional fee is just like a flat, steady, fixed rate. It's always $8 for that part. So I was going through my change purse last night, because that's where I usually try to keep the pending $8 for my next shift. And I counted out $7 that I had in like the extra spare $7, or the extra spare dollars that I had. It was 7. And I was like, damn, that's when I remembered. I was like, if I had remembered to try to grab that dollar stuck above the stage, that would be the 8 right there. So that's when I remembered it then. And I was like, I wonder if there's a chance that will still be there later on when I go back in. I can't say tomorrow because it was already Monday. It was after midnight. So, right, Monday? Yeah. So I wasn't too sure. Sometimes they're still there, sometimes they're not. But it was. And so I went in there and I reached up and grabbed it. And so I want to say that this is like a positive start to my shift here tonight. I don't know. I'm only $7 in the hole. I'm only $7 negative. I just got to make $7 more back in order to break even. harder than it sounds like it should be for me. There's nobody in there. There's dancers, there's no guys. There were actually guys by the stage when I first got in, and then a few minutes later they were gone. So I don't know where they went. Anyways, so okay, this is kind of bad, but before I wrap this up, I'm at 45 minutes, you guys. I really wanted to try to keep this video on the shorter side. I don't know why I'm like incapable of doing that. This better freaking post, oh my gosh. But one other thing I kind of wanted to mention, I'm really gonna take these off. They're hurting my ears. Oh my gosh. Oh. So people get pizza here at the club a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean almost every night that I'm here, it seems like lately. They'll probably be getting it tonight because tonight is Monday Night Football, and that's like a thing that they do now, like every Monday night, it seems, for the football. I don't know. But they also had it last night. And last night, I guess it was one of the managers that ordered it, and they left the receipt on the counter back, or like one of the tables back in the kitchen area. And I'm always just amazed at like the money people are willing to spend on things, especially stuff like pizza. Because for me, like everything that I get for food is like, I never eat out. I don't like restaurants and stuff like that. So all of my groceries, I'm always looking for the cheapest version of everything. Like, I don't do brand names. Just every single thing that I get, I'm looking for the cheapest version. That's me, unfortunately. So just out of curiosity, when I see receipts lying around for stuff like that, I like to take a look at them just to see like what other people are like and how they like the money that they're willing to spend on the weirdest stuff or stuff that seems weird to me. So when I looked at this receipt, I was like, who might have gotten this pizza tonight? And it turned out to be one of the managers, and this manager's been like my favorite manager for a while that I might possibly have a little bit of a crush on. I'm really not too sure because I don't really know my own feelings. Like, I'm just so messed up from dancing, but also for a lot of other things from my past and present. That I just don't trust myself with anything. I don't trust anything in the world. Anyone else, anything else, including myself. So I don't even like know what my feelings are with things. Some things maybe like I'm like, oh, like I really do like that or I really don't like that. But especially with people and interpersonal relationships, it's kind of just like, what is this that I'm feeling right now? Like, yeah, sometimes other people, I really know if I don't like certain people, like certain guys here at the club. Whereas other guys, I'm like, oh yes, I really do like them. Or a lot of times with dancers, especially dancers here, it's rare that I meet dancers or see dancers here that I don't like, but there's like, you know, some I like more than others. And a lot of times there'll be dancers where I just think to myself, oh my gosh, like I think they seem like somebody that I really like. Like they just seem like such a chill, awesome person. Especially these days, you know, when I first started years ago, that wasn't so much the case as much, whereas these like now and recently, like that happens a lot. Like there's so many amazing dancers that work here now, which is awesome. But anyways, okay, so with this manager guy, I feel that way about him to where I'm like, wow, he's so awesome. Like he's such a nice guy. He was the one that actually came out to my car last night to take a look at the tires and the brake pads and stuff like that. Like they're always, they built the recent VIP room that we have here at the club. That's like a big living room with like a TV and a PlayStation and like a living room style couch. 10 billion times better than every other VIP room we've ever had here. He did the entire thing himself. Like it used to be an office, and he's just always like fixing stuff and working on stuff here at the club. Whereas the other managers are nice, yeah, but they mostly seem to kind of just like chill and just do what they kind of like, just, you know, do what they have to do. But this guy just goes above and beyond, you know what I mean? Like, and he's just, I don't know, I just really like him. So, but as far as me having a crush on him, I don't really know how to feel about that. Like, I don't really know what my feelings are with stuff like that typically. So anyways, I noticed this last night looking at the receipt. I guess it was him that got the pizza, but on the receipt also was his phone number for them to contact him about the order. And I have actually had his number here in my phone. I've he gave it to a lot of the dancers because he sent us a picture of the prices for the VIP rooms back when he first became a manager. He used to be like a floor host and a DJ and that kind of thing some years ago. And then at some point some years ago, he got promoted to a manager. So when he got promoted to a manager, I think that we were also having some changes here at the club around that time where the VIP prices were changing. So he had taken a screenshot or like a picture of what the prices were and sent it to like pretty much all the dancers, I think, just so that we would have like a reference. So that's like really the only reason I have his number in my phone. I've purposely made a point like not to ever call him or text him or like really do anything with his number. Because he does have a girlfriend and I don't have any self-confidence. And again, I don't really trust myself with stuff like that. So anyways, but I noticed his number. So I've already had it in my phone, but I had never noticed this before until looking at it written down or typed out on this receipt that I saw last night. The last 4 digits in his phone number are the same 4 digits, the last 4 digits in my phone number, but just mixed around a bit. So like, yeah, you know how in phone numbers you'll have like the area code and then 3 numbers and then 4 numbers. The 3 numbers are a little different. They're actually still pretty similar. But the last 4 digits in both of our phone numbers, they're the same numbers, just a very, very small switch around with a couple of them. I think it's just the last 2 or the first 2. The first one's the same, and then the last 3 get switched around just a little bit, but they're the same digits. They're the same numbers. They're very close to being almost like, I don't know. I just noticed it last night, and I was like, how have I never noticed that before? Because, you know, like in your phone, on your contacts list, like I guess it's just different seeing it like printed out on a receipt. The numbers were like printed out like in a bolder, just easier, like more noticeable format for me to really like actually notice what the numbers themselves were. And I was like, that's so weird. Like, I don't know. So I kind of wish I hadn't noticed that though. I feel like this is another one of those things where the universe is just messing with me. You know what I mean? Just like to get in my head and just like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, just mess with me. Like everything, it feels that way pretty much, especially these days. But anyway, so I don't know. Again, I kind of wish that I hadn't noticed that because now it's like in my head a little bit. I was like, I'll just forget about this. Like, I kind of wanted to mention it in this video or one of my videos, but then I was like, oh no, I'll just forget. But I haven't forgotten, I guess, yet. Anyways, this was just last night though, so I don't know, we'll see. Anyways, I'm gonna try to put it out of my head now that I've like gotten out of the way and just mentioned it on here. I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys because, you know, like that's what this channel is for me, is just like stuff that I feel like I can't really talk about or tell anybody else, like talk about anybody else, whether tell anybody else. You know what I was also wanting to talk about too? I'll be honest, I feel like this YouTube channel for me, it's so pathetic, but I feel like this YouTube channel for me is kind of like a replacement for a relationship for me. Just because, yeah, like I am not really, my family's all like moved all around the country. Like my family's very small anyways to begin with. So I'm not as close as I would like to be with my family. I've been single for so long. All I really do is work and like try to work out at the gym, exercise. I'm trying to write a book. Like I'm always just doing stuff, like running errands, just trying to keep my little shit existence together as best I can, basically, like my ducks in a row, so to speak. So yeah, I don't really have very many interpersonal relationships, and the few that I do kind of have are really not that significant or like real, like dated. I don't know. I just feel like I'm kind of just always stuck by myself in my own head and just stuff like that. So with my YouTube though, it's just like I kind of, you know, like I've come on here like just so many times that I was just feeling lonely or just like wanted to talk to somebody and like didn't know who I could talk to or something like that. So Yeah, like I know that sounds so pathetic and so, but whatever, like there's so many other things that are pathetic too. Like in my my existence, my so-called life kind of thing. But it really does suck that I've been having all these issues with my phone lately and with my videos uploading or not uploading properly, really. Because if YouTube could handle it, or if my phone could handle it, whatever the issue might be, I feel like I would just want to stream like all the time. Like I would want to stream, like I got an oil change in my car earlier today. I was actually on the phone with my younger brother at the time, which was like really distracting and difficult to try to like, do both at the same time. But it was nice to be able to talk to him because up until that point, I really hadn't heard from my younger brother or talked to him for a little while, you know. So but if I wasn't on the phone with him, I feel like I would have wanted to be doing a video on YouTube with that and just like stuff like that. Like I'm gonna have to go fix my brake pads on my car or get them fixed and get new tires and just stuff like that that sucks to do. Like I really like doing driving videos because I hate to drive and I get lonely and just like I just don't like doing it. I just hate driving. I always have. Um, but I just like stuff like that. I to not feel as lonely or just to make it try to suck a little less. I would rather just, if I could, or if I felt like my phone was capable, or if YouTube was capable of posting the videos properly, like I would want to probably just stream all that stuff. You know what I mean? Just to have like just there's so much stuff like after this video, if it's probably still gonna be slow in the club. So like later on tonight, if I could get that private dressing room unlocked like they do sometimes, I want to do videos in there like I try to do sometimes when I can. Like driving back from the club after my shift. I've done driving videos after my shifts here at the club at night, just driving back from the club to my apartment. Like that's probably not the best idea, but I've done it before. And if I if I felt like the streaming if I felt like it would post properly, I'd want to do it again. You know what I mean? Like just me driving various different places, running errands, going grocery shopping. Like I'd pretty much want to stream just about everything. Like I feel like I'm one of those kinds of people, or getting to be one of those kinds of people where it's like I'd pretty much just want to stream all day long, practically. You know, like everything that I do, just about. Not everything, but you know what I mean? Like for me, so it really sucks because it's like, well, I'm just lately trying to post just like one video at a time. Why won't it work? Like what's going on with my phone, or what's going on with YouTube, or what's going on, you know? Yeah, my video yesterday was only 36 minutes. So, but I was driving at the time, so I gotta just keep that in mind. But I've done driving videos before. I don't know. It's just I gotta figure some stuff out because if I can get my phone up to being able to do it, I want to just stream like so much and just like all day long, pretty much. Like all these things that I'm gonna have to do that suck so much. If I can at least have like, and then if this one does post properly, maybe I could even re-enable the live chat comments because yeah, I've gotten some that weren't so nice before, but I've also gotten some that were nice and that were helpful. Um, so like it's so weird doing this one and not seeing like the stuff down at the bottom of the screen like I would see before. But this is really just mostly an experiment to see if it does possibly help with the stream quality, and with this maybe uploading a little better, uploading all the way, that kind of thing. Because yeah, if this for whatever reason doesn't post all the way, this is like an hour-long video, so up until whatever point it would cut off, that's a good chunk of time of my life that I'd be, that's just gone in the abyss, basically. And it's like I could be into the club, I could be on stage right now, I could be stretching, I could be, doing all these other things, getting ready, etc. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a lot to think about, I guess. But this channel it's still a work in progress, you know. I'm still trying to figure a lot of this stuff out as best I can. I have all of these pages and pages like of notes. All of these pages here are notes from stuff that I have pending that I still want to try to get into and talk about. I mean, there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages, and there's still more right next to me, like besides these are just the most recent. So I gotta try to remember to bring these into the club with me, so like, you know, if it is slow or when it is slow, I can maybe try to organize these a little better, or I don't know. I literally, coming on to do this one, I wanted, my intention, what I thought it was going to be, I thought I was going to come on for a few minutes, like, hey guys, testing 1, 2, 3, I'm just trying this out to make sure, excuse me, to make sure, you know, just to see if this video posts properly. And now it's at an hour, and it's like, damn, how much of my time did I just freaking waste again? Oh my gosh. Whew. Either way though, I'm not gonna give up on this. Like whatever happens, I'm just gonna keep at it, you know. Like I'm not gonna let myself get too discouraged or too derailed with this stuff. I'm just gonna keep trying, keep practicing, keep researching, and I'm, you know, because yeah, like otherwise it's just a buffet for my haters and whatever they might be. But I'm just not going to give up on this channel just yet, regardless of how this video posts or doesn't post. Oh my gosh. Because, easier said than done. Holy crap. I don't know. It really sucks. It does. But, I guess I better just wrap this up now. It's officially dark out, or like 80-90%. It's also really cloudy and just, oh gosh, it's so cold. Yeah. But you know what? The note that I'm going to wrap this up on is that split on the pole that I've been trying to practice for. I made progress with that last night. I feel like I have been making progress, just gradually throughout the past couple of weeks with that, but especially last night, it was like a significant, like difference that I felt with where I positioned my ankle and my foot and my right leg on the pole with that. So I'm just thinking about that and trying to focus on that right now, just in my brain. Like that was awesome. That is awesome. And that's how I want to end this video, on that note, just because that sounds a little more positive. So, okay, after I wrap this up in a minute or so, I'm just not going to like think about, well, I'm not going to look at this video. I'm not going to like, normally after I do these, I'll try to go back and I'll make them public and I'll change the title and I'll try to choose a thumbnail. I'm not going to do any of that until, oh my gosh, until, I don't know, I guess the end of my shift, normally I try to do that as soon as possible, but now I'm like scared to do anything. I'm scared to do it, to not do it, to try to do it, to not try. Oh gosh, it's so frustrating. Ah, okay, no, the split on the pole. Anyways, I gotta wrap this up. I gotta get back in there. I gotta get in there and practice that split on the pole, even though it's gonna be so slippery and I'm not really gonna feel able to. I'm still gonna try it. I'm still gonna try my best, okay? Freaking A. I have all these notes to look through and just stuff to think about and whatever. Okay. I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are feeling better than I am, doing better than I am. Yeah. Hey, you know what? At least I was able to get out in time today to get my oil changed and do this video. I had some daylight to work with for most of this video, which was nice. So yeah, I'd like to try to do it again tomorrow. Regardless of how this posts or doesn't post or goes, either way, I'm going to try my best to come back on tomorrow, one way or another. Even if it's just for 4 minutes, even if it's just for 1 minute. even if it's a short, I'm gonna keep at it and I'm gonna keep trying and I'm gonna have that be a goal for tomorrow still and regardless. So anyways, yeah, I'm gonna peace out for now. And hopefully I will be able to get back on pretty soon. I'm gonna go warm up, try to go warm up. My face is warm, my cheeks are red, my body is cold, my hands are freezing. So yeah, I'm gonna go try to warm the rest of myself up in the club. So peace out for now, guys.